Protesters marched in downtown Los Angeles and Phoenix to protest President Donald Trump's mass deportation plans. According to Associated Press, the demonstrations were part of the nationwide Day Without Immigrants movement, with people assembling in downtown Los Angeles early in the morning. By early afternoon, some protesters were seen in the Santa Ana area. Later in the afternoon, a group returned to an overpass area by highways near downtown Los Angeles, where they continued their rally. Heavy law enforcement was on the scene in Los Angeles, and the LAPD declared an unlawful assembly at 17:30, beginning to ask protesters to clear the area. Thousands of people protesting mass deportations planned by President Donald Trump marched in Southern California on Sunday, including in downtown Los Angeles, where demonstrators blocked a major freeway for several hours. According to Associated Press, protesters gathered in the morning on LA's historic Olvera Street, which dates to Spanish and Mexican rule, before marching to City Hall. They called for immigration reform and carried banners with slogans like, "Nobody is illegal." By the afternoon, marchers had blocked all lanes of US 101, causing traffic to back up in both directions and on surface streets. The demonstrators sat down in lanes, while a cordon of California Highway Patrol officers stood by. It took more than 5 hours for the freeway to fully reopen, CHP Lieutenant Matt Gutierrez said Sunday evening. The CHP and the Los Angeles Police Department said there were no reports of arrests. U.S. President Donald Trump spoke to reporters at Joint Base Andrews in Maryland on Sunday. According to Associated Press, Trump said 6 hostages from Venezuela are now safely with their families. 6 Americans who had been detained in Venezuela in recent months were freed by the government of President Nicolas Maduro after he met Friday with a Trump administration official tasked with urging the authoritarian leader to take back deported migrants who have committed crimes in the United States. Trump said that he will retake control of the Panama Canal is driven by legitimate national security interests stemming from growing concerns about Chinese activity in the Arctic and in Latin America. Canada and Mexico ordered retaliatory tariffs on American goods in response to sweeping tariffs imposed by President Donald Trump, and businesses and consumers in both countries questioned Sunday how the new trade war might affect them. "We can play the game all they want," Trump said, adding he would speak to Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on Monday morning. USAID, whose website vanished Saturday without explanation, has been one of the federal agencies most targeted by the Trump administration in an escalating crackdown on the federal government and many of its programs. "It's been run by a bunch of radical lunatics. And we're getting them out," Trump said. Trump has accused Mexico, Canada and China of not doing enough to staunch the flow of fentanyl into the U.S., slapping the 3 countries with tariffs partly to encourage them to do more about the opioid that causes some 70,000 overdose deaths in the U.S. annually. "We have to stop people from pouring in, and we have to stop fentanyl, and that includes China. It's pouring in from China through Mexico and Canada. And they've got to stop it. And if they don't stop it, the tariffs are going to get worse, a lot of worse," he said.
We had a very busy weekend. We got the 6 hostages out of Venezuela, as you probably know, and they're very safe right now. They're home with their families. Secretary of State Rubio is in Panama right now, and we're talking about the Panama Canal. What they've done is terrible. They violated the agreement. They're not allowed to violate the agreement. China's running the Panama Canal. That was not given to China, that was given to Panama foolishly, but they violated the agreement, and we're going to take it back or something very powerful is going to happen. And I love the people of Canada. I disagree with the leadership of Canada, and something's going to happen there. But if they want to play the game, I don't mind. We can play the game all they want. Mexico, we've had very good talks with them, and this is retaliatory. This is retaliatory to a certain extent. Millions of people flowed into our country through Mexico and Canada, and we're not going to allow that. USAID, run by radical lunatics, and we're getting them out, and then we'll make a decision. I'm speaking with Prime Minister Trudeau tomorrow morning, and I'm also speaking with Mexico tomorrow morning, and I don't expect anything very dramatic. We put tariffs on. They owe us a lot of money, and I'm sure they're going to pay. They have to stop people from pouring in, and we have to stop fentanyl, and that includes China. Fentanyl has killed this year at least 200,000 people. It's pouring in from China through Mexico and Canada, and they've got to stop it. And if they don't stop it, the tariffs are going to get worse, a lot worse.
Mr. President, you're going to the border.